Welcome to this instructional video for the new Sound Tower editor for the Pioneer DJ Toraiz AS-1. The Sound Tower editor for the AS-1 is a powerful companion to this dynamic mono synth. Working in complete harmony with the hardware controls on the AS-1, the editor provides an alternative way to control the creation and saving of your original programs. Additionally, the Pro version of the editor provides a number of features not available directly on the AS-1 that will enhance your user experience, but more on that later. It's not the intention of this video to explore every individual parameter of the AS-1, nor to be a definitive tutorial on sound creation and development. Please refer to your user's manual to gain a clear understanding of the many parameters and controls available in the AS-1. So let's get started. Before we can use any of the editor functions, we have to confirm that the AS-1 is communicating with the computer. On the editor, select Midi, then Midi Setup. You will see a list here of the global settings that must be set on the AS-1. On the AS-1, click the global button, then confirm the following settings using the parameter and value knobs. Set MIDI control enable to on, MIDI parameter send to NRPN, MIDI parameter receive to NRPN, MIDI SysEx enable to on, and select MIDI SysEx cable to either USB if the AS-1 is connected directly to the computer with a USB cable, or MIDI if the AS-1 is connected through a MIDI interface. Click Global again to exit the AS-1 setup. These settings will stay active in the AS-1. Close the MIDI window and quit the editor. Now, start the editor again and open the MIDI setup window. To connect the AS-1 with the editor, select the AS-1 in the MIDI in port and the MIDI out port. Once you do this, the AS-1 should appear online. To confirm the connection, turn a couple of controls on the AS-1 front panel and the editor should respond. Start up a sequence on the AS-1 by using the play button either on the unit or on the editor, and make a couple of adjustments on the editor and the sound should reflect those changes. If so, you're all connected. Under the AS-1 menu, you have Preferences and About. In Preferences, you can change how the editor responds to the user actions. Mouse wheel value adjustments sets whether you scroll up or down to increase number values. Knob value adjustment sets how you adjust the knobs on the editor. When set to circular motion, you adjust the knobs by clicking on or near the parameter you want to adjust and move the cursor in a circular motion. If you want to make finer adjustments, you can click and then move farther away to track a larger circle, thereby giving you greater control. Change the setting to linear vertical motion. You click and move up and down vertically to adjust the value. Change the setting to linear vertical horizontal. You can click and drag either vertically or horizontally to adjust the value. About provides a way to check the software version and view the credits of the program developers. Click on the OK button to close. When the AS-1 editor first opens, you're presented with this view. As you can see, the complete set of parameters are available immediately on the editor. This will make editing your programs much more efficient. Before you begin your editing session, we suggest that you first sync the editor with the current state of the AS-1. If you've made any changes to the AS-1 with custom programs, you probably want them reflected in the editor. So under the MIDI menu, select Receive Banks, then select All User Banks. A dialog will appear and then click Start. All of the current user banks of the AS-1 will be downloaded to the editor. At the top left corner of the editor page, you have a panel representing the OLED screen on the AS-1 that displays the name of the current program. If you click on the name of the program in this window, you are presented with a dialog that will allow you to change the name of the program and change the category of the program. More on categories in a moment. Next, across the top, you have access to the settings for the clock, speed, and note values. arpeggiator options and start button, a sequencer play button, and a couple of additional parameters. Below this, you have all the parameters laid out in a logical order for sound development. Again, this tutorial is not intended to replace the manual on the functions of the AS-1 or to teach the principles of subtractive synthesis, but rather to show you the lay of the land and the features of the editor. We start with the sound source with the two oscillators where you can set frequency, shape, pulse width, etc. To the right is the mixer where you can adjust the balance of the two oscillators, add a sub-octave based on oscillator 1, and you can add noise to the program. Next, you can adjust the two filters, high pass and low pass. Next, you can make adjustments to the filter and amplifier envelope generators. You can make the adjustments using the knobs, or you can click and drag the segments of the graphic display. Then there's the modulation and aftertouch sections. Then next are the effects, slider, LFO, and glide parameters. With banks, you have a complete listing of all the programs in the AS-1. There are 5 user banks and 5 factory banks. You can select any of the available banks and click on any program to recall that program in the AS-1. If you right-click on any of the program names in Bank View, you can copy the selected program to the clipboard, paste a program to this location from the clipboard, rename the program, and set category. Save the program to your hard drive, load a program to this location from your hard drive. This option has a built-in safety feature. When you select the location you want to load the saved program to, the program is loaded into the editor and to a buffer in the AS-1. All the parameters of the loaded program are in place, but it has not yet been stored in the AS-1. To store it, you have to select Write Program from the Edit menu, or use the simple key command shown here. You will be presented with a dialog to confirm that this is the location you want it saved to. This simply provides an opportunity to assure you wish to overwrite an existing program. And finally, you can also initialize a program to a simple, generic sound to create a new program from scratch. Additional features in the Pro version allow you to view the AS-1 programs by category. Here, you can again call up any of the individual user or factory banks, but you can also call up programs based on the type of sound it is: keys, strings, various types of bass sounds, brass programs, and so on. Let's take a run through the menus of the AS-1 editor. We've already covered the Preferences menu. Under the File menu, you can perform various load and save functions using standard file management commands to save and retrieve data to and from your hard drive or other storage location or devices such as a USB stick. I'll demonstrate one pair of these commands to show the process, and you can use the same process for many of the other sets of data. The first option is to load or save all data. This allows you to save out all the data in the AS-1 to a proprietary file. You can archive all your synths programs and other data in one single file. This can be good for backup or allowing you to load a rental AS-1 if you are provided one as part of a backline rider, or to exchange your setup with another AS-1 user. In this example, I can first save the AS-1 data to the computer, name the file, and click Save. Then, if I needed to recall that file, I can click Load, select the previously saved file, and click Start, and then wait for all the data to transfer to the AS-1. You will notice that the screen on the AS-1 will indicate that data is being received. It's important to remember that saving and loading saves the current state of the editor, not necessarily the current state of the AS-1, unless you have uploaded the AS-1 to the editor as suggested earlier in this video. The next option is to load and save the entire editor as a SysEx file. SysEx is short for System Exclusive and again is a proprietary file format for a particular device, in this case the AS-1. Once you select the SysEx file you want to load, you are presented with this screen. To simply load all the SysEx file into the AS-1, select Load All. You'll be presented with this dialog. Click Start and wait for all the data to transfer to the AS-1. The other option I have is to transfer single banks to their original or alternate bank location. As an example, I can transfer User Bank 1 to User Bank 4. Load and Save Single Program options allows you to save the currently selected program to your computer or to reload it. When you reload a program, the program is loaded into the editor and sent to a buffer in the AS-1, so you'll be able to hear it and make additional edits if you wish. But it will not be stored in the AS-1 until you write it using the Write program under the Edit menu. Load and Save Program Bank works similar to Load and Save Single Program, except you can select complete program banks containing 99 programs. You can swap full banks from one location to another if you wish. For example, if I wanted to put the contents of Bank 4 into Bank 1, just save out Bank 4, then load Bank 1 using the Bank 4 file. Again, loading these banks only load the programs into the editor. If you wish to upload the changes you make to the AS-1, you would need to select Midi, Transmit Bank, then select the bank you wish to transfer, or all user banks to load all 4 at once. Under the Edit menu, Copy and Paste Program allows you to copy one program to the clipboard and paste it to another slot. Write program makes an edited or transferred program residing in the AS-1 buffer to a specific program slot in one of the user banks. Selecting Write program brings up this dialog where you can select the user bank and slot you wish to save it in. You can also change the name and select a category when you save. Under the Midi menu, Midi setup was covered earlier. Receive Current Program will transfer the currently selected program on the AS-1 into the editor, and Transmit Current Program will upload the current program selected in the editor to the AS-1. The Receive and Transmit Banks options allow you to download and upload banks to and from the AS-1 in the editor. The Parameters menu is a second way to call up the various editing panels of the AS-1 editor. Shown are also the key commands that make navigating around the editor more efficient. Options provides full screen mode, just click Escape to go back to the standard view, and vPiano. vPiano brings up a virtual keyboard on screen that you can touch to play, or it will show the notes being played on an external keyboard connected in your system. There are mod and pitch wheel bends, options to adjust MIDI channel, velocity, and octave, as well as the ability to adjust the opacity. The sequencer screen allows you to quickly modify the number of steps in the sequence, notes, velocity, tie, and slew for each step. Notes can be adjusted by simply clicking and dragging the note to a new location. Please notice that if you are moving a tied note, you must click to the furthest square to the left to drag. Velocity of each note can be adjusted with this slider. Tied notes can be set up simply by turning on the tie indicator to the right of the starting note. Slew allows you to select specific steps that initiate the glide feature between steps. Like clicking on tied notes, you must select the Slew On button to the furthest left segment of a tied note. Let's just select a sequence and try a few things. Global settings are parameters that are in place regardless of what program you may select. When making adjustments in this page, be sure not to change Midi parameter send, Midi parameter receive, Midi SysEx cable, and Midi out select. Changing any of these will disrupt communication between the editor and the AS-1. You can freely change all the other parameters as you require. A very convenient feature is the ability to select the programs that will be recalled from the AS front panel 13-note keyboard. Simply select a key you wish to use to call up a favorite program. Then from the dialog box, select the bank and program you wish to assign. I wanted to first introduce you to Snapshots, as this feature can be used for various file saving functions at any point in the editing and saving process. Snapshots is accessed by selecting the View Snapshots option in the Snapshots menu. A view of the Snapshots window is shown here. Snapshots is a very cool notepad, if you will, for any patches you're working on that you might want to hold for later recall. This is like a tiny librarian application. Snapshots of an edited program could provide multiple undo points and allowing you to check your editing at various stages. It's a simple utility with a minimum of features, but it's invaluable in support of the editing sound development process. To capture a snapshot of the current program, simply click the Add Snapshot option in the Snapshot menu or use the key command. Each time you capture a snapshot, it will be added to the Snapshots window. To send a snapshot to the AS-1, click the Send button. Just remember that sending a program to the AS-1 from the Snapshots window is only sending it to the AS-1 buffer. Write the program in if you want it to be saved. As you build a list of snapshots, you may wish to go back to one of interest and perform additional edits. This is done by clicking on one of the snapshots and clicking the Edit button. You can also save and load sets of snapshots by clicking on the File button, and standard save and load dialogues will appear. Keeping track of new sounds you create, reordering factory and user sounds, and other similar tasks can be quite a challenge, but we've got you covered. Sound Tower has developed a unique way to manage all your librarian duties. So under the Bank button, click Librarian. Let's look at the environment. First, you'll notice that the librarian opens in a new window and that the menu changes. On the left side, we see a listing of all the patches that are currently available in the AS-1. Clicking on any of the tabs at the top will reveal the selected user or factory bank. If for any reason you wish to confirm that the librarian is showing the correct list of patches that are currently in the AS-1, select a bank, then click the Receive tab, and you will have the option to download from the AS-1. Just click Start to begin the download from your synth. Here, you also have the opportunity to save the visible bank to your computer or to load a bank you have previously saved. As with all computer files, it's always a good habit to get into to save your files often. Develop your own system of identifying and saving your work. You may wish to save all user and factory banks to your computer before you begin any editing. Let's run through a quick view of this. First, let's receive all the current patches for the AS-1 User Bank 1 to confirm. Next, let's save that bank to the computer. Next, let's make a simple change to one program. Let's rename BA Pro 1. Just double-click the name, and here you can change both the name and select the category for the patch. Let's transmit this edited bank to the AS-1. You can check the name on the AS-1 to confirm, but we'll simply receive the bank back from the AS-1 to confirm. And there it is, the edited BA Pro 1. Now, let's load the original unedited version of User Bank 1. Click Load, select the file, and either double-click or click Open. You'll see the unedited BA Pro 1 is now present in the list. Again, please note, this has not been sent to the AS-1. This list is now just in the editor. To commit this bank to the AS-1, you must again click Transmit. You should now be able to confirm with the AS-1 that the original BA Pro 1 and the other original patches of User Bank 1 have been committed to the AS-1. There's one other principle to cover here. We touched on this before, but this becomes even more important with the librarian. With the options selected as they are currently shown, if you select any of the programs in the list and observe the AS-1 screen, you'll notice that the program numbers and the bank ID also reflect that selection. If you click on the Use Bank Data checkbox, now when you select a program in the librarian list, the program is sent over to the AS-1, but rather to a buffer. If you play the AS-1, the program you sent will play, but it hasn't been committed to the AS-1. Any name change you make, however, in the librarian window and confirm will be committed to the AS-1 right away. If you wish to make a name change, double-click the name in the left column, change the name, select the category if you wish, and click OK. At any time, if you wish to do further editing on the currently selected program, just click the Edit tab and you will be immediately returned to the AS-1 editor, and the librarian window will close. If you wish to commit your edits to the AS-1, select Write Program under the Edit menu. The large open space on the right is where you can organize individual or groups of patches from the various banks to collect and reorder. You can select programs from the left column and slide them over to the right by clicking the top arrow key here. You can select single programs and move them. You can select multiple programs by shift-clicking. You can select non-contiguous programs by command-clicking on the Mac or control-clicking on the PC. You can select programs from any available bank to combine them into a single bank. If you select a single program to move, it will be sent to the appropriate category. If you select multiple programs, you will be presented with this dialog that allows you to send all the programs to their pre-assigned categories or all programs to the category that is selected, indicated by this arrow. Once you have moved a collection of programs to the right side of the librarian, you have a few options. You can select some or all and move them back to any bank on the left side. Great for simply reordering programs. This process would work basically the same way. Highlight the program or programs, select the location on the left where you want the transfer to start, then click the bottom arrow key and confirm. That's it. You also have the option to simply save a collection of programs to your hard drive from either side of the librarian. Similarly, you can also open up a set of previously saved programs from the librarian. Import will open a dialog box to allow you to import a SysEx file. New allows you to start with a new blank space. You will be asked to confirm before the current collection is deleted. You can use the list of categories in the center column to change any programs you send over for transfer. Just click on the name before you transfer the programs from the left side to the right. To comply with the design of the AS-1 editor is designed to show 5 banks of user programs. For many, this may simply not be enough storage. For those who may be into sound design or who may need 12 banks of 99 base programs, we've got you covered. Phantom Banks allows you to create and store 99 additional banks of 99 programs per bank and recall them as needed. Click Phantom Program Banks under the File menu or the Phantom button on the Banks window. You'll be presented with this screen. You'll notice that the menus have changed when Phantom Program Banks is active. We'll go over these items in a moment. Drag this small window over to the side so you can see the Banks window. Select one of the 99 bank slots at the top of the page. We'll start with Bank 1. Now, simply select a program you wish to save to a Phantom Bank. Select one of the 99 available locations and click Add Current Program. Once you've transferred one or more programs over to the Phantom Program Banks window, you can click Save As under the File menu, and you will be presented with a standard file saving dialog. Save the file under the name and in the location you wish. I would suggest creating a new folder to save all your Phantom Banks in. You will notice that after you save the file, the bank is now named in the list. The AS-1 editor will load the currently saved group of Phantom Banks the next time you start up the editor. The Edit button sends whatever program you have selected to the buffer in the AS-1 and brings up the editor to the front to allow further development of the program. Remember that programs that are in the buffer can be edited and you can hear all the changes, but they have not been saved to the AS-1. You must commit the changes using the right program under the Edit menu of the editor. Let's look at Phantom Bank's menus. Under the File menu, Load Bank Data allows you to load any previously saved AS-1 bank file either from the Phantom Bank program or from the standard bank save from within the editor. We already worked with the Save As command. Load From allows you to load a complete user bank. Select the bank you wish to load into Phantom Banks, and you will be presented with a Save dialog where you can enter a name for the bank. Click Save, and the Phantom Bank window will be populated with the programs from that bank under the saved name. Under the Edit menu, Copy and Paste Program will allow you to exchange data from a single program to a different Phantom Bank program slot. Rename allows you to change the name of a selected program. Don't forget to resave the bank when you do this, or the new name will not be saved. Just save the bank file over top of the original. Insert Initial Program creates a generic, simple starting program to build a new sound from scratch. Remove Bank will delete the currently selected bank from the list of banks. Under the Midi menu, you can send a currently selected bank to one of the 4 user banks. The standard upload dialog will appear. Click Start to send the bank. Help offers a quick link to the Sound Tower website for support of the AS-1 editor. Under Sound Generator in the menu are 3 different development tools: Program Genetics, Morpher, and Patchmaker. We'll look at Program Genetics first. As the name might imply, the analogy of family will be used. Let's look at the elements on the page. At the very top of the page, you will notice a set of buttons labeled Mix, Morph, Mutate, and Random. More on these in a moment. Before that, and on the left, we have 2 sets of bank selectors with a mommy and daddy list of programs. As with the librarian, we can select any bank of programs for either the mommy or daddy list. So the analogy is this: we pick a mommy program. This is the starting point. Then we select a daddy program. We then click one of the 4 blending buttons at the top. Mix, Morph, Mutate, and Random all have different algorithms for combining parameters. This will generate a list of 99 genetically related programs in the Kids column. Here's what happens when you hit the 4 blending mode buttons. Mix, as the name suggests, mixes up the parameters, some from mom and some from dad. This is a random parameter generator. This can be seen by selecting 2 programs and clicking Mix a number of times. Each time Mix is clicked, the names of the kids change. Clearly, with any of the blending modes, because of the random factor of the new patch generation, many sounds may be unusable for many genres of music, but perhaps perfect for some sound design and other uses. Try picking 2 programs, make some kids, well, you know, push the button, and have a listen. I'll try a few of these here and see what happens, but before I do, I'll introduce the principle of top offspring. This is a column where you can take the generated programs you like and separate them from the rest for further filing and processing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so sound generators, program genetics. Let's pick this bass sound for Mummy Patch. And let's try, let's try that. And let's go mix, and let's see what we got. That's interesting. That's cool. Real low sub, I'll have to do a little bit of editing on that one, but that's a great start. Let's go down the list and see what we have. We'll add that. We'll hold on to that one. That's interesting. We'll save that. Let's go way down to the bottom and see what we have. Nope. We'll hold on to that one. Nice noise. Let's do another mix and see what we get. I like that one. And so that's the process. Now that I have some top offspring, I can go to Banks, Librarian, and have nothing in here. If I go Librarian, load from top offspring, that brings all the top offspring forward, and then we can save them or do all the other functions that we discussed in the Librarian module. Some good ones, maybe, some not so good. A few worth saving. Just a small point. If you want to be able to hear your sounds, be sure auto addition is checked. And don't forget, we're just sending data to the buffer, so nothing will be saved to the AS-1 while we're auditioning sounds. This area in the center allows us to save general or specific parameters of the Mummy program that we don't want changed. As an example, if I like the sound of the oscillators, I could click all of these buttons and the oscillators of the Mummy program will stay the same. But because the filter is going to be mixed, the sound may still change very dramatically. However, the value of the oscillator parameters will not be adjusted. As you can see by the list to the far right-hand side, if we just click Oscillator 1, there are a number of parameters that make up Oscillator 1. We can, if we wish, work right down to the smallest detail of which parameters on the AS-1 will be modified when we generate new programs. Let's see the effect of our results. Let's do mix, and we'll save some of the parameters. Let's save those oscillators. So we'll save all the oscillator information. Now we'll mix. Nice short sound. Let's try a different sound. Let's start with this. And let's go here. Mix. And again, we'll keep the oscillators. That's good. That's interesting. That's good. That's nice. Nice short sound. So as you can hear, a little more predictable when you save some of the parameters. So give that a try. Again, some interesting sounds and some not so usable. So let's move on to Morph. Morph works in a similar way, but creates programs with a different algorithm. Each parameter just moves in a predetermined manner from one program to the next. You will notice that by successive clicks on the Morph button do not change the names and sounds of the kids. Let's see if we can find anything fun this time. So let's start with this sound again. Let's go between those two. And this time we'll do Morph. There's that. That's starting to get interesting. A little noise in that one. Cool. Nice and thin. Pretty small. Let's try something up here. That's usable. So that's Morph. Again, completely unpredictable and some very interesting results. Mutate. Same thing, but again, different results. There's a secret sauce thing going on with this one that no one's really talking about. Again, random with each click. Let's have a listen. So again, let's start with that bass sound. What's this here? Let's mutate those and see what happens. That's nice. That's nice. That's great. That's good. Pull that over. That's great. Also good. So that's how mutate works. And finally, random. Same process, but completely different method of blending. These sounds can tend to be a little less musical, but you just never know. Let's see what we can find in a couple rounds. Using the random generator can create some challenges in being able to actually hear the new programs. It's best to filter out the mixer and the amplifier and filter envelopes, as levels in the mixer or sustain level in the amp or cutoff filter could hide an otherwise great sound simply because we can't hear it. I've already created a set of random programs here. Let's see what we have. That's interesting. Clearly, you'll need to go and rename these. Oops. Nope. Little of a space gun. Nope. Interesting effect. That's fun. That's interesting. One sound on the key down and then another sound on the key up. That's cool. Interesting starting sound. More with the space sounds. Kind of a cool undercarriage. I think you get the idea. The results can be pretty random. That's cool. Good sound design thing. So I think you get the idea that it's completely random and you just never know what they're going to turn out like, and they're possibly good for effects. Morpher. This sound generator is very fun. Again, 2 columns to select 2 programs. A slider at the top to move from one generated program to another, or use the arrows at the end of the slider path. If you hit a sound you like, you can add it to the lib or write it to the AS-1. Clicking lib adds the new program to the right side of the librarian for further editing tasks, or clicking right presents you with this dialog so you can immediately save the program to a location in the AS-1 as well as select the category. There's also an XY pad here where you can identify two parameters to tweak them. Let's hop right into this generator and see what we can come up with. Okay, let's pick a couple sounds here. Let's go to user bank 1 and let's pick down here. Good. And let's go. Let's try that. So we're going to. There's the one sound. There, it's starting to change up. Let's save that one. Save that to the lib. There it is. Filter's nice on that one. We'll save that to the lib. Nice round tone in that. Let's save that. Let's save that one as well. Let's pick a couple more. Let's go with this. I like this patch. Let's go, nope. There, let's try that. We'll start back here. Starting to change again. These weren't terribly different. Let's try something else. There we go. That's excellent. Let's hold on to that for sure. Add to lib. Even stronger filter on that. Excellent. And so that's how Morpher works. The last sound generator is Patchmaker. Don't be fooled by the simple interface. This can also be a very powerful tool. Here you simply select a starting program and all the categories are set to the values of that program. From here, you can select a set of parameters from any other available program to generate new and unique sounds. At the top are the buttons to copy a program you have created over to the library or write it immediately to the AS-1. Once again, there's a bit of luck that goes along with this, so let's see what we come up with. Let's move on to Patchmaker. Let's pick an initial sound. We'll just stick with this very basic bass sound. And let's hold on to the oscillators for now. Let's change this. Let's go for, let's just change the filter a little bit. Let's add that to the library. Let's back to Patchmaker. Let's go. Let's try this one here. That's good. Let's add that to the library. Let's do another filter just for fun. Too short. Also nice. Let's add to the library. Let's keep that filter and let's change out an oscillator. Let's go with this. Nope. That works. Let's add that to the library. So that's the process. You just select the various components in the new sound and bring it over from the other program. Templates is another great feature of the AS-1 Pro Editor. With templates, you can apply sequencer, arpeggiator, or filter data and parameters from one program to another very quickly and very easily. So let's select sequencer as an example. You'll notice that any of the template options opens in a new window. Let's first resize the window. If there are programs showing that you don't wish to access, you can create a new space by clicking Clear All under the Edit menu. Similar to Snapshots or Phantom Banks, Templates provides a place where you can store as many programs as you need for future creation and editing. If you wish to simply try to find something useful, you may want to just load one of the user or factory banks using the Load From button. This will bring the entire set of programs from that bank to be auditioned. Let's pick a program in the AS-1. I'll use one of my favorites. If we turn on the sequencer, we can hear the original sequence that is saved with this program. Now if we return to the Templates window, click Auto Send, and then simply click on any of the programs in this list. The sequencer data from that program is applied to the program that is currently running in the AS-1. As with other editing of internal programs, applying this new sequence does not make it permanent. This is only applied to the AS-1 buffer. If you wish to save this program with the new sequence, you would have to save out the program to the AS-1 or to a snapshot or phantom bank. Let's clear this bank of programs from the template list. If we discover a sequence on the AS-1 that we really like, but we wish to use it in another sound, we can simply add the current selected program to the template list. This way, we can then start searching for programs that we may like in the AS-1, then apply that sequence to it. Under the Edit button, we have standard Copy and Paste, Delete, and Clear All options. Using the Save button, we'll save an individual or collection of programs using standard save dialogues. Under the Load From button at the top is the option to load a collection of programs you have previously saved. The arpeggiator and filter templates work in the same fashion as the sequencer templates. This is simply a great way to quickly apply something you love about one program to another quickly and easily. The AS-1 editor is a great way to access all the features and power of this great instrument from Pioneer DJ and Dave Smith. With the addition of the proprietary librarian and sound generators, Sound Tower has created a world-class must-have companion. So reach inside your AS-1 with the Sound Tower AS-1 Pro Editor. It's so easy.